Alright, so today we're going to be installing the Ram air intake from Banks on our tow rig, which is a 2014 Ram 2500 with the 6.7 liter Cummins. Okay, so when it arrived, I did open it up to check just to make sure that there was no physical damage to any of the parts, even though I knew it'd be a little while before I was able to get it installed. If we look at it, we've got the housing, which is in good shape. The air filter, and we also have the tube, which there was no damage to any parts, so we're good to install. Let's go ahead and install. So the next step here is going to be to remove the air actuator and the linkage that's inside the air filter housing so that we can move it over to the Banks setup. To do that, there's 4 screws here that we need to remove, but first we need to get the filter and the lid out so that we can get down to the linkage that controls the air actuator door here. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, if that's not disgusting, I don't know what is. That's 15,000 miles worth of usage on this filter, and kind of the benefits of living on a dirt road. Okay, now that we've got the filter removed, we can see the 2 doors that are connected to the motor here that we need to remove and transfer over to the Banks system. So there's 4 screws here. They should be T30 screws. So we're going to remove those, and then the doors will be loose enough that we can pop those out and move them over. Alright, so now that we've got both our motor and just the single round shutter, well, I guess it's not round, it's actually oval, but that's okay. But we've got those 2 parts removed from our stock assembly, so now what we need to do is take them and install the motor onto the housing and the door into the housing here as well. So our door is installed. Not a very tight fit, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and get our motor secured, and to do that we're going to use the same 4 T30 screws that we used to when it was installed on the stock housing. Alright, so we're looking at the top of our stock air housing now. We've still got 2 sensors here. We've got our inlet air temperature sensor and our mass airflow sensor. We need to remove these 2 sensors and move them over to the air inlet tube on the new Banks system. So our air inlet temperature sensor will go here. Our mass airflow sensor will go here. Both of those are attached with 7mm bolts. So we'll go ahead and remove those and just get them moved over. now comes the fun part. From everything that I was reading online before buying this kit, it's a great kit. Everybody loves the performance and the sound. You know, the fuel economy gains are debatable. We'll see about that here after we get it installed. But the most difficult part of the install for this is getting the intake both over top of the compressor and the PCV valve. So I don't know if you can see it with my big arm in the way. So we've got a PCV tube here that we need to get our hose over and our compressor down there, and we need to get both of those in place and get them clamped on. So I don't think I'm going to be able to film this portion of it for you just because I don't have that many hands, but we're going to try. That I read that said that installing it on to the PCV hose and the inlet down there was the most complicated part. We're spot on. It was a royal pain in the rear end. I can't express that enough. I don't know if I'll include that footage in the video or not, but it took me 3 attempts of pulling it off and pulling it back on before I had the clamps in the right places where I could actually access them to tighten them down. And you know, the little rubber grommet that goes over top of the inlet there kept wanting to fold back over underneath, but we got it. So has it made a difference to the truck now that it's installed? And I can say yes, it has. It sounds a little bit deeper. The acceleration is improved. Overall, the truck breathes a lot better. The exhaust brake is a night and day difference between the power that it had before and now with the Ram Air installed. From a fuel economy perspective, I haven't really noticed too much of a difference. You see here before, did a 220-mile loop. We were getting about 18 miles to the gallon based off of the idiot meter in the dash. And now we look at it after it's installed. This is about 3,000 miles later. Doing the same 220-some mile loop, and we're right at 18.6 miles to the gallon. So if you've liked the video, please like and subscribe. We've got a lot more videos coming, including some other non-auto related stuff here in the near future. Until next time, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.